Hey, good evening and welcome to Feed Yourself Well. Tonight's recipe is all about the bounty of spring, so we've got some fresh vegetables from the market today, and I'll show you what we've got. I went ahead and did a little pre-work and got some of the chopping and dicing done, and we've got some onion, some garlic, diced tomato, some diced zucchini, yellow squash, and a little bit of orange bell pepper to bring a little sweetness to the table. We've also got some broccoli that I blanched already that we're going to add into the dish as well. We're going to build this spaghetti squash and shrimp Primavera as a layered of flavors. So we're going to put some ingredients in the pan, get them going first. We'll prep out our zucchini squash. Then we're going to cook the shrimp and toss everything together. This is super light, springtime, summertime, quick and easy dinner. So you can plan ahead and get some of your mise en place together or everything in its place, and you can start cooking. So I'm going to head on over and get some of these aromatics in the stove. Okay, so I've got a pan, and I'm just going to drizzle a little vegetable oil. That's it. I like canola oil. It's easy, and again, I think last week we talked about in the video about olive oil, how not to use extra olive oil in an application like this. Just a little vegetable oil or regular olive oil would be fine, but stay away from the extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so that oil, if you can see, it's starting to warm up. We're just going to coat the bottom of the pan with it. And we'll go right in with our onions. Just give those a quick turn. Now we're really just going to sweat these vegetables. We're not going to cook them until they're done, because once we toss them with that hot spaghetti squash, they're going to continue to cook. So some carryover cooking is going to happen. In goes the garlic. I don't want to pick up any color on these vegetables. I want to keep them nice and bright, just till they start to get translucent. In goes our orange pepper. Next, we're going to throw in yellow squash. And our zucchini. I'm going to hold off on the tomatoes for last, because once I put the tomatoes in, I don't want them to melt down too much. I want them to hold their shape. So I'm really just going to toss the tomatoes in at the end, just to warm them through. Okay, so we got some action going on there. I'm going to grab the broccoli. This broccoli has been pre-blanched, so it's been softened up a little bit. If you want to check out blanching also, we did a piece last week in the steak nights video about how to blanch, and we blanched some asparagus. So we've done the same exact method to the broccoli. And right in the broccoli goes. And I'm just tossing the vegetables around just to coat them. I'm going to add a pinch of salt and a couple turns of pepper blend right over the top. And I'm going to put the tomatoes in now. I'm going to reduce the fire down super low, because again, I don't want those tomatoes to overcook. I just want them to start to steep and everything come together. You see, I'm not trying to saute. I'm not trying to pick up a lot of color. No caramelization. I just want those vegetables just to stay nice and bright and vibrant and just hold. Okay, so great. We're in great shape there, and we're going to head back to our cutting board and talk about our spaghetti squash. This is a pretty big guy. So for spaghetti squash, you want to handle it like you do any type of squash that is usually kind of hard on the outside. A pumpkin, acorn squash, a butternut squash. Those squashes tend to be real tough on the outside, so you need to split them open. And I'm going to do that. I like to do it in 2 cuts. First right down the middle and through, and then rotate it and split right down the other side. So I've got 2 pieces now. If you can see, typical squash lined with seeds right down the center. All you need is a big spoon, scrape all that out, discard it, and then go right into the oven. And what I like to do is I like to drizzle with a little bit of oil, season with some salt and pepper, and turn them upside down on a baking sheet and let them bake at 300 degrees for about 30-45 minutes. You can go a little longer if it's bigger, but about these size would take about 30-45 minutes to get nice and tender. I'm going to check them for doneness because I'll be able to feel the outside will be very, very soft. So I'm going to get these out the way and go back and grab the ones that are already prepared. Okay, so in the oven, I've got spaghetti squash. It's already been cooking. It's been cooking for about 30-45 minutes, just until tender. I'm going to pull that out. Check for doneness. They feel great. Now they are very hot. Know that they are very hot. We're going to actually scrape them out into a big bowl just with a fork. So we got a nice fork here. Because they're hot, I recommend that when you grab them with a towel so you can hold it. And you can see that's nice and done. And just with the fork, it loosens up that cooked squash. And you can just take the fork and just ride it around the side, all the way through to loosen up that nice, ready squash. Right in. And I'm just going to put it right in a bowl. This cooked in 2 pieces, so I'll grab the other piece and repeat. There we go. Remember, hot, so handle with a towel. And just same method. Loosen up right around the sides. You can see I seasoned it with salt and a little of that cracked pepper blend. And right out into the bowl. Just get all that out. Super easy, and it's nice and hot. So there we have that. Looking good. Now we're going to go back and grab our sauteed vegetables, and we're going to add those right on top. Then we're going to throw some shrimp in the pan and cook the shrimp just until done, and we'll toss everything together. Then we'll finish with some fresh chopped herbs and a little bit of crumbled feta cheese. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side. We've got our sauteed veggies. Right in they go. They're not overcooked. They're just warmed through enough to be done. It's almost like confetti. Let's get all that out of there. Okay, and back we go to the stovetop. I'm going to turn the fire back up. I want to warm this pan up nicely for our shrimp to start cooking. I'm going to give this a quick toss just to combine the vegetables and the squash together. That looks great. You guys see that? Everything's cooked up nice. Lots of color. That's what we want to go for with this dish. Nice vibrant color with the spaghetti squash. So once our pan's nice and hot, we've got our peeled and deveined shrimp ready to go. And back in that pan, I'm going to do another quick drizzle of oil. I've got the heat turned up nice and high. I'm not going to worry about those few little bits of vegetables there. They're going to add flavor. So once we get that nice and hot, and it's getting there, we're going to lay these shrimp in and let them start cooking. Don't crowd them or they'll start to steam, and we really don't want them to steam, we just want them to saute. So don't crowd the pan. Give everybody some elbow room so they can start cooking. We're going to season them with some house seasoning blend. House seasoning can be made just by adding some of your favorite things together. I like a little garlic powder, maybe some onion powder, paprika, salt, pepper. Sometimes a little red chili flake is in there. I add different things depending on what I want the outcomes to be, but I always keep a little house blend on hand for dishes when I need a quick pinch of some flavor and I don't want to have to spend too much time deciding what am I going to put in it. I'll keep my nice house blend ready to roll. Okay, and we've got one more shrimp to go in. We'll let those cook. And I'm just going to sprinkle some seasoning right over the top. There's a little bit of smoked paprika in here. It's coming through nicely. Okay, so we got our shrimp doing their thing. While that's happening, we're going to go back and prepare some herbs for our dish. So, of course, I'm a huge fan of chopped parsley. So I'm just going to break this down a little bit. I want it a little leafy. I don't want it super fine. Okay, set that to the side. I've got some fresh dill. I'm going to add a little bit of this dill to it, and we're just going to take off some of that. Right in with the parsley. And I've got some mint leaves. Now, mint, like basil, is one of those herbs that's great for a cut called a chiffonade. So if you take the leaves of mint and just separate them out and you stack them right on top of each other, give them a little roll, and then just with the knife, cut straight through. And you get a nice chiffonade of mint. So I've got mint, dill, and parsley, and all of that is going right in on top of our squash vegetable medley. Let's get it all. We don't want to leave any of that behind. We'll bring this back out. Wow, that looks great. It's got a lot of color, very vibrant. It's still nice and hot. That's what we like. And I'm going to slide back and check on our shrimp, see how they're doing. Give them a quick turn. Okay, so our shrimp are starting to cook up nicely. Give these guys a turn. And remember, when cooking your shrimp, cook them to a C, not to a O. O is overcooked. A C is just right. Oh yeah. These are great. You see I didn't overcrowd the pan, so everyone is cooking up nicely. Picking up a little bit of color. We like that. Give them one more turn. And these shrimp are just about done because the pan is nice and hot. Remember, we don't want to roll them up super tight. These shrimp look great. Okay, so I'm going to shut the fire off. And I'm going to take these shrimp and move them over to our dish. And they're just gonna go right in. Get that out the way. We'll give them another quick toss. It's got lots of color. Looks great. Now, to add a little creamy note to this and kind of tie everything together, we're just going to take some crumbled feta cheese right over the top. That's about half a cup in. And we're going to plate this for dinner. We're going to eat dinner tonight. This is super easy, low carb option if you're counting carbs coming into summer and spring, which a lot of us will be. We want to eat a little lighter. So this is light. This is a super easy dish to prepare. You saw it, just very fresh ingredients going right in. I'm doing a little cherry picking of all my favorites right in the bowl. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's dinner tonight. Looks great, and remember to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on those notifications because I want you to know when I'm cooking. So, this is dinner. Have a great weekend. See you next week on Feed Yourself Well.